Connecting all three of the platforms now. We are live. I'm giving one moment. Let me just go check my other platform to make sure we are good. All right, we live on there as well.
Hey.
Time to come in the room. Give everybody time to come in, and while they're coming in, as they begin to come in the room, let them say hello.
Hey.
And let me just make sure that all of our platforms. Let's see. Hey everyone, we are going live. I know it's a pop-up live and you something unexpectedly. With so much going on in the world, we want to just go live and just bring some joy, some hope. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be live tonight with one of my amazing clients, Ms. Valerie Milner. She is amazing, amazing woman of God. And so tonight we're going to go live regarding her book, Broken Pieces. Broken Pieces. Man, you better look at this beautiful woman, look at this beautiful face. And sometimes we will see people on the outside and don't know what they have endured. And so I just want to let you know, Valerie, that you are a walking testimony. And I'm honored to interview you today regarding this book. And I just pray that God will just use you in your story, use this book to many people. And so we're going to give people time to come in the room, give them time. As you all come in the room, make sure you like it, you comment. Let us know how we sound as well. I want to make sure everything is working properly. How do I sound, Valerie?
Great. You sound wonderful on my end. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can hear you
We're
loud
going
and
to give
clear.
them time to get in the room. Now, we can also you can hear me clear. Yay! We can also I can also view the comments from Facebook only. I can't view the Instagram comments. And so if you are writing on Instagram, we love you over there. I just can't view I just can't view the comments. So if you on Instagram, make sure that you type in what state you are watching from, and make sure you say hello as well. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a hugger. I love to say hello. If you was close by me, I would try to hug you because that's just who I am. And so while everybody coming in the room, I want to do some introductions. For those that don't know me, my name is Kiara Collins. Many people call me Key. I am the owner or the CEO of Royal Kingdom Publishing. I publish faith-based content. I publish Christian books. I publish memoirs, biographies, nonfiction, fiction, children's books. I do journals, devotionals, but most of the time they are faith based. I feel like when I publish a book, because books, y'all, I mean, a book can change somebody's life. And so I just feel like, Lord, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to publish any type of books. And so I have a certain type of books that I love to publish and certain type of people that I love to work with. Because you can come into agreement with things. And so I try to make sure that the books that I'm publishing are things that I agree with, and I'm not coming to agreement or put things out there that's going to hurt people, or I like to empower and lift people up. And so I love working with people like Valerie. Their books that help people, that bring them out of dark places. I mean, our testimonies are powerful. The Bible says that we win people over from our testimonies. From our testimonies. And so that's a little about me. I'm going to let Valerie introduce herself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, hello everyone. How are you? My name is Valerie Milner. I'm an author and I'm a divorce discovery post divorce. I can't get it out. Post discovery coach and divorce coach. Help women, divorced women, stop hurting from their toxic relationship and learn the signs so that they'll never get back into another one. So that's what I do. I'm an author of my new book, and I'm so glad to be here today.
Amen. She is when I say an author, when I first read her story, I was like, she have definitely written books before. Like I've read first time author's book, and you can tell there was a first time author. But your book, Valerie, it sounds like writing is definitely your gift. I mean, look how thick this was for your first book. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to you publishing many more because and so that was a little about Valerie, and also I want to let you all know that at the bottom of the screen it has Valerie website if you all want to purchase the books, or say after this you want to reach out to Valerie in any way. You can go to www.valeriemilner.com and you will have an opportunity to write her, to schedule a session, and she'll be more than happy to work with you all. So first of all, Valerie, let's talk about this book, Broken Pieces.
Yes.
The name, it's a the journey, aftermath, and restoration of divorce. How
Mhm.
did you come up with this name?
You
It's good.
know,
It's good.
that actually I had been thinking, just really thinking about what I wanted to name my book. And I had been thinking about it, pondering on it for a while. But actually the name came to me one night. I was actually asleep. And I sat up in the middle of the bed. It's like the Lord woke me up. Literally, I was sleeping and I just sat up in the middle of the bed, and Broken Pieces, the journey, aftermath, and restoration. The whole title was in my head. When I sat up, I saw it. I saw Broken Pieces, and I usually have a journal in my bed because I have thoughts and about different things and ideas. So I like to write them down so I won't forget. And I sat up in the middle of the bed. It woke me up out of my sleep. I was in the black dark with that title. It came to me, and I just jotted on a piece of paper in my bed. It was scribble scrabble the next morning when I saw it, but it just came to me one night. It woke me up out of my sleep, and once I wrote it down, that's how it came to me.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love it. And so even with the cover, that word broken, saying that broken glass on there, like it made a statement.
Hmm.
Uh from that cover, what do you want your authors even just to get? I know how I'm the type of person I am. If I'm in a Walmart, I'm somewhere looking for a book. The cover, if the cover is good, I want to buy this book. I'm like, okay, what did you want the cover to display to your readers or to your potential buyers?
I wanted it to. At first, I didn't really know what I wanted because at first, it was my very first book, so I didn't know what to expect or think. And I think my initial thought was I wanted to be on the cover of my book. I wanted my picture to be on. But then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, no, I think I want something else. And so the picture of broken glass to me was just symbolic of how the state I was in at that point in my life. I was broken, and I just thought of being broken into pieces, So, and that's how I felt, or the state that I felt I was in during that time of my life. So it's like broken glass came to me, and I decided to have the book cover with some broken glass on it. It was as simple as that.
And I love, okay, so tell us about the book. Tell for those who haven't read the book, they don't know Valerie. Give us a background or a snippet of what this book is about.
Absolutely, absolutely. The book is actually it's a memoir. It's actually my story of how I met, married, and escaped a toxic marriage. It's my whole journey, and it takes you from literally how I met my former spouse, how we courted, we dated, fell in love, and how I got married, and how afterwards, over the course of time, it evolved, and it went from being, I would say, kind of like a fairy tale to really like a nightmare, And so it's a full, complete story of what I went through. I go into very much detail, talking about it. It took me a while to write the book. Writing the book was therapeutic for myself
Yeah.
because I went through so much. I didn't even realize during writing the book, things were coming up that I had forgotten. So it's like as I wrote the book, things were revealed to me things that I believe I suppressed, and I think I even minimized my own experience. But as I was writing, it was therapeutic. Things were being uncovered, and I realized
Mm.
coming back to me, and it was just it was a journey, and so I'm very graphic and detailed in it, and there would be days when I would finish writing and I had to, it would just bring back, I could feel myself in that state, although I wasn't, but it was real. So it's very therapeutic in writing it, and getting it out. So it's my story of what I went through from the beginning to the end.
Wow, that's
Yeah, yeah, from the beginning to the end, and how I turned out in the end, being a masterpiece from coming through all of that.
coming through. I love how you said some key moments in that. You said when you was writing, you began to realize some of those things you was going through. You minimize some of those traumatic events. And I remember when I was in the season of my life, because I had went through so much pain. Sometimes you'll get so used to pain, it becomes normal. And
Yes.
I remember one time I was hurting bad, and I didn't even know I was hurting because I was so used to hurting. God had to tell me that this is not normal.
Hmm.
And so sometimes we gotta check ourselves. Like sometimes the things we think we become desensitized to things that are not right. We become
Yes.
desensitized to things that are not right. I'm glad you was able to during that journaling process. I know I'm just like you. I love to journal. I love to write. I remember
Hmm.
every time I went through a hard season, what got me through was the Lord, journaling, because a lot of times you couldn't just run to people, and you didn't have that everybody couldn't don't give wise counsel.
That's
And so
right.
journaling was like my safe place.
Hmm.
And so I love that, Valerie. I love that. And I also love how you said that you came out a masterpiece, and everybody can't say that sometimes. Some people don't survive certain situations. Some women or even men die in bad relationships. And so you are a walking testimony that you made it from that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are definitely that. And so I do want to ask this question though, Valerie. I know you got married young, and were there
Mhm.
any red flags before you got married? Like, hold on, this ain't right. He ain't right. This ain't normal.
There were.
Girl.
Now, the saying, I wish I know then what I know now. But that's impossible because I'm a mature older woman. I was basically a kid then. So it's no way possible I could have known what I know now because, we learn things and we gain wisdom as we get older and experience things. And at the time, I was 19 years old when I actually met my spouse, 20 married. So I was a kid. So yes, absolutely. Now when I look back and knowing what I know and have come through it and and have went through my healing journey and everything, there were absolute signs. It's just that because I was so naive and so young, I didn't realize there were signs. I didn't know what to look for. He was only my second boyfriend. So I didn't have a lot of experience. I was, as some people might say, as green as they come. I didn't have a lot of experience, so I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what toxicity was. I didn't know what signs were, but they were absolutely signs. And would you like for me to share one or two of the signs that I know now that I didn't know then? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, there were signs, and when I look back now, would be and I thought it was cute, but having the need to have, it was an exaggerated need to have all of my attention. Like he was very attentive, very overprotective, very and I thought it was cute. And don't get me wrong, there's a balance in that.
It do in the beginning. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, there's a healthy balance in that. But when I look, he was very, he wanted all of my time, all of my attention. And if it was in one of the red signs would,
I I think we kind of went off for a
okay,
minute. Can you see me now, Miss Valerie? I think I kind of disconnected. My Wi-Fi must have had dropped or something.
yeah, you frozen, but I could hear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. I can hear you now. I can hear you at first.
Okay. Do I need to start? Where did I
I
leave
can
off?
hear you.
Okay. Where did I leave off at?
And so the last thing I heard you say was about you thought that was cute when he was over, when he
Okay.
was so needy, or we as young girls, we think that's cute.
Yeah. I would say a red sign would be one of them would be the exaggerated need of having all of your attention. So, in other words, he wanted all of my attention, even if it meant, if you know, spending time with my sister or my mom. He wanted all of my attention. If he wasn't involved, he didn't want me to be. I couldn't be somewhere or with someone without him being there. So he had to be involved. He had to have all of my attention. Another red flag would be to interject in your conversation uninvited. If someone would speak to me or ask me a question, and before I could even really answer, he would answer for me. It's like he would take over the conversation. Um,
Oh,
Another red flag would be dismissiveness. You really have to pay attention to when if I was sharing my thoughts or I had an idea, he would dismiss it or minimize it. Basically, as if what I thought or felt didn't matter or didn't count. So you want to pay close attention to a person always dismissing or minimizing your feelings or your thoughts, because
wow.
those are, to me, that's also a sign of kind of disrespect. They don't really respect your thought, your feeling, so they minimize, or perhaps it could be something that you're
He
really
sound
excited.
narcissistic as well. Like
Hmm. It was a little delay. What did you
yeah,
say?
it sounds like he dealt with that narcissistic spirit as well. Did he like have those narcissistic traits, like a narcissist?
Well, I know that's a really big word now. We say that narcissistic is a big thing now that we talk about, but I'm talking 30 years ago. See, that wasn't a thing then. At least not that I know of, 30, and so I can't say that it was narcissistic because I don't really know. It might be some tendencies. I'm not really sure, but I know that wasn't a thing back then. It was like it is now. But yeah, very dismissive of my thoughts, my opinion, my ideas. It's like I didn't know anything. He would minimize it, or perhaps, like I said before, if I had an accomplishment or if it was something that I was really excited about, he would dismiss it or he wouldn't acknowledge it. So those are different signs. Can you hear me? I think you might have frozen again. Can you hear me? Okay, I think, did I lose you? I'm going to wait. I think the connection might have went out. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to come back.
Can you hear me, Valerie?
I can't. Okay. Yeah, I think
Okay,
you went
there. I think it's coming. I went
there.
completely blank. I'm like, where is Valerie?
Yeah, well, yeah, I lost you. I didn't see
Let's
you. Are you?
see.
I think we have a bad connection.
There,
Can
that's
you?
what I get for not even praying over this live before we even went live.
Yeah,
I said I was gonna pray first, and we went right into it.
we're gonna persevere. I think it'll be okay. Sometimes those connections, internet is good, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I don't know where we left off at, but but I was just sharing about some of the red flags. So
Yes, and so I do want to pick that up.
So the dismissiveness, the overprotective, if they have an issue or problem with anybody you care about, if say for instance you have a really close friend or someone that's been in your life for years. You're really close to this person, or it could even be a family member. It don't have to be a friend. And they just have an issue with anybody that's important to you. And have an issue when it's not really, nothing has really happened. They have no legitimate reason not to like the person, but they just have an issue with any, if the person is important to you, they have an issue with them. They don't like them. They don't think
To
they should be around.
you.
Yeah, so those are some red flags. And when I look
Wow.
back, those were some signs that showed up, but I didn't realize it. I didn't really know that it was a red flag.
That it was a red flag. Oh wow. So if you can go back and just give advice to the younger Valerie, what advice would you give to your younger self? What would you tell the younger Valerie?
Wow, that's a very good question. It's probably a lot of things I would tell her, but one thing that I think that would stand out this overarching, and it would be to be true to yourself. I think if Shakespeare has the quote something about be true to thine own self. I would say be true to yourself. Do not be afraid to stand on what you want, what you think, and what you believe. And do not be afraid to pursue what you want. And that's what I would tell my younger self, because I have had a history, especially young growing up, and even after I got a little bit older, of being kind of like a people pleaser. And I would suppress how I felt or what I thought to make someone else happy, you know, and I mean, my feelings could be on the floor, and I would leave them on the floor to make someone else to, so that I wouldn't offend someone else. So I tell the young Valerie, the younger version of myself, to be true to yourself and stand on what you want, what you believe, and what you feel, and don't be afraid to pursue it.
Amen. Ooh, that I gotta go back and rewatch this and write that down, Valerie, because that was good. Look, Maisha just said that's good. That's good, Valerie. Oh
Mhm.
wow, Valerie. That look how with age comes wisdom. That
Yeah,
wisdom with time comes that wisdom. Oh
absolutely.
wow. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for wisdom. And so, Valerie, how did you know that it was time to leave that marriage? Was it multiple times that you said the D word? Like, what was the breaking point where you was like, okay, this is it?
It was, it was actually I guess it was a combination or a culmination of a different events over a course of time, because I was legally married for 12 years. We were together 9 of 12 years. So it was different things over the course of time. The treatment, the verbal, emotional, financial, abuse comes in different forms. And it's not always, I didn't have a black eye or broke rib, but it was verbal, it was mental manipulation, financial isolation, all of those things. And it was beginning to get physical, but I would say the straw that broke the camel's back for me was actually I was isolated. I was overseas on a military base, and it had really gotten really bad. It was bad before I went, and then I didn't say anything. I didn't share with my family. I didn't want to go because I knew it was bad, but I didn't know to. I was afraid to tell them, and I didn't know that I even had the option to not go. It's like I felt like I had to,
Wow.
my husband. And so I went overseas knowing I was in a bad relationship. I left my native land and went to a foreign country knowing, that it wasn't good for me. And I didn't have the strength, and I didn't know that I didn't have the strength, or I didn't think I had the strength. Let me put it that way. And I didn't realize that I had the option, that I didn't have to go. So I would say once I was there, things got.
Oh, wait, Valerie, I can't hear you. Are you there, Valerie? Let me make sure I can still see her. Just give her one moment. I can't see her any longer. It's probably Wi-Fi. We've been having some Wi-Fi issues. Let me just take time to pray. Lord, I just thank you for allowing me and Valerie to come together tonight and just discuss her new book, Broken Pieces, God. God, I pray that you will use Valerie doing this live, oh God. Continue to use her, because I know you're already using her, God. I pray that everything that she needs to say, God, that she will be able to say, God. I pray if there's any women or men, oh God, that's in bondage, oh God, or that's in situations, oh God, you have not called them to, oh God. I pray that those demonic soul ties will be broken, oh God. I pray that just like you broke, oh God, and you healed, not only broke the demonic soul ties from Valerie and her ex-husband, oh God, but you restored her, you healed her, oh God, and you've made her whole, oh God. I pray that that will be somebody else's testimony as well, oh God. That if you, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, can do it for Valerie, God, you can do it for them, God. And God, I thank you, God. I thank you for her testimony, God. I thank you, oh God, that your word say who the Son sets free is free indeed, oh God. I thank you for not only setting Valerie free, God, but setting all the listeners, oh God, and those that's going to watch the replay, oh God, that are in bad situations, oh God, that you're going to give them the courage, oh God, to walk away, oh God. You're going to show them, oh God, just like Valerie said, she did not know that freedom was an option, oh God. You're going to open their eyes and ears up, oh God. You're going to show them, oh God, the way, God. I pray you're going to send them destiny helpers, God. And God, we just thank you. I pray over the connection, the Wi-Fi, God, that we bind up and rebuke every demon of the airways, oh God. We loose your holy angels, oh God, to help us and to guide us, God. In Jesus' name, amen. So, Valerie, I just started praying once you got off because that's what I like to do. that's what
It's good.
that's what I
Happen,
like to do. And
and
so, yeah.
I got a phone call started coming, and I think that interfered with the This is crazy. That interfered with our broadcast. So I'm so sorry about this. Someone called me, and then the phone went out or whatever. But sorry about that.
It's okay.
Um,
It's okay.
I can't remember what I was saying. Now I was off for a minute.
No, it is okay. No, but you said
Okay.
some good things. Even when you said that you didn't even know that it was an option that you did not have to go. So it just reminded me,
Mhm.
sometimes we be in such deep of a bondage that we don't even know we in bondage. And so my next question was, how was your spiritual relationship with the Lord at this time and his relationship with the Lord? Were you all both saved when you got married? Were you not saved? And how was that like?
Um, yes, I was. To answer your question, the first thing is yes, I was saved when I got married.
Yeah.
But my personal relationship with the Lord grew even more. I was definitely saved, but I got closer to the
Yeah.
Lord after my marriage. And I think because once I got married, I moved away from my home and I lived in another state. And then for years, and eventually I moved overseas. So I began, I gained a personal relationship with Jesus Christ after I was married. I was saved. I knew the Lord. I grew up in the church, but I had a personal relationship. So I had the relationship with the Lord, but I didn't realize when it was time to go, I didn't realize I had the option that I didn't have to go. I think in my spirit, I felt like I had to go. And I think had I shared
Yeah.
what I was going through with my family and told them what was good, they would have shut it down and said, you don't have to, but I didn't. I kept it to myself. You know, so I took the misery with me over the
And
Atlantic
was it
Ocean.
because of, so why did you keep it? And
Can you
why did you keep it to yourself? Was it maybe was it shame? Was it fear? Was it, do you know what was the root of why did I keep this from them?
I think it was fear. I think it was fear. One, I didn't know, and this is
Fear.
listening to myself say this is crazy where I sit from where I am today because I'm such a total different person now.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I even thought that way now. But yeah, I think it was fear. And two, I didn't realize I had an option. And I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't realize I had, but it was definitely
Yeah.
fear.
It doesn't.
And
It does not.
it was it was fear of my ex-husband. Um Yeah, it was fear, and then I didn't know the option. So basically, I would say fear because fear can paralyze you. So it was fear.
Mhm. So
Hmm.
how does it feel now on the other side, outside of that, after the D word? How does that feel?
Well, initially, a divorce is basically the death of a relationship. So a lot of people don't realize, but the physical death, we no longer see the
Yeah.
person, and we grieve and go through it. We all have lost loved ones. But the difference between a physical death and a divorce, and there's some statistics that say divorce is it's the death of a relationship, and it's up there near a physical death because you actually grieve it. The difference is that you still have to see the person. You still can hear their voice. You can see them every day, but you're no longer in relationship or covenant together. So to me, it almost kind of makes it worse because it really
Yeah.
it can kind of hinder your healing process because you have a scab that's pulled off, but if you have to see this person on a regular or hear their voice, it's just like putting salt in the wound again and, and again. Whereas when we lose our loved ones, and don't get me wrong, I'm not minimizing death at all from a but when you lose a loved one and we have our goodbyes, we don't see them again and we grieve. That hurts. We go through it for months, sometimes even years. But when you're the death of a relationship with a divorced person, still, so you still them. That right there. That's
I
something.
never thought of it like that.
But to answer your question, how does it feel? Then once you get through the grieving part of, initially it's bad, but once you get through the grieving part of it, and I would get help if you have a really hard time, and that's what helped me with my healing journey. I had supportive. Number one, I was able to get away, get out of the toxic environment. That's number one, and get to safe ground. Number two, I had a very supportive family that embraced me. They took me in. They embraced me. They built me up. They encouraged me. They helped provide for me because I didn't have any means. So that put me in a safe environment where I was nurtured and cared for. And number three, I got counseling. So I was in counseling for about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, my and my younger son at the time. So all three of those things together is what helped me through my healing journey and got me on the other side. So now I feel great. And it's been many years now since I've went.
Yay!
It's like
And
once you come,
I love,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yes, I love hearing when Black women say, or African American women say, that I've went through counseling, because a lot of times people look down on us when we say we've got counseling, and because they have, that's not really normal in our type of society. And so I know
Mhm.
I've went through counseling. It was one of the best things I've ever done. It helped me with my PTSD. I didn't even know that I had PTSD until I went to counseling. I didn't even know I had a word for that.
Wow.
And so I'm all for counseling. All for it. Is well, I come out of agreement with PTSD now. God has delivered me from it now. But in that season, I didn't even know I dealt with that. I knew
Mhm.
I didn't even know until somebody called it out, and I was like, "What? Not me." And I went to counseling, and she hit it on the nail. And I was like, "Oh wow."
Absolutely, because when you go through
I'm
something
so happy
traumatic,
for you.
when you go through
I
something
am so
traumatic,
happy for you. I love.
it's hard. So, we can't always pull ourselves out of stuff. You need assistance. And for me, as the reason why I titled my book "Broken Pieces" is because I was so broken that I almost couldn't help myself. I was in a state to where it was hard for me to help myself by myself. I needed help. I needed assistance. And so that's where once I was able to gather the strength to get away and flee, which that took strength to do. But once I got to that point and I got to safe ground, my family was able, it's like being a little fragile bird. My family was like my nest, and they just cushioned and held me till I got to a point to where I could begin to walk again and I could begin to talk again. And, it's just symbolic, but,
My God, my God. I love that. I'm so glad you had a good support systems. Everybody don't have that. Everybody don't. It's unfortunate. Everybody don't have. That's why a lot. I know I've seen a lot of women go and kill themselves and kill their children, or go take their self out. Because people missed the signs, or they didn't, or they told people how they felt, and nobody stepped in. People always say, "I'm gonna pray for you," and they leave it at that. But sometimes people just don't need prayer. They need you to hold their hand through situations so they're able to get through it on their own. Sometimes don't pray for me, baby. Help me. Give me the right resources. Give me the right tools so I can get through this.
Absolutely. And to that, Kiara, I would say that you're absolutely right. Everyone does not have a family. But what I would say to that mom, if they're listening now, if you don't have a family, you can find help in anyone. If you catch the bus on a regular basis and you have a familiar bus driver that you ride the bus with every day, he knows you or you know him, or if it's a male or female, a bus driver, your pharmacist, a teacher, a co-worker, anybody can be of assistance to you. So if you don't have family, reach out to someone. It could be some, like I said, it could be a pharmacist, somebody that you go to on a regular basis that you got some familiarity with. If you are in a destitute situation and it's really like life or death, I mean, anyone could be of assistance. Like I say, bus driver, your boss, your local grocery store clerk, and if you let them know that you will be surprised who would throw you a lifeline to at least get you out of the danger zone temporarily until you can get, safer ground. So reach out to anyone that you feel like might have your best interest at heart, if you don't have.
That
And then, and you could always go to your local fire station. You could go to, and you have to, and I want to say church, and I have to, I want to put a disclaimer here because I know what the climate we in with churches and everything, and I'm not speaking ill of any of it, but you want to be careful about that too, because you just want to make sure that you want to share with somebody that you have, you can feel their energy and you feel like they will be someone that you could confide. You have to use discernment. You do have to use discernment. You can go to someone in the church and they not be a good fit depending on what church you at and who it is. So you really use discernment about someone that does not have a family. Like I say, if you have a job, you can sometimes go to your HR person. You will be surprised who will reach out to you, because I had someone that helped me to assist me to get, from overseas back here. For a friend of my husband's, and their wife helped me, and that person I believe just used for that time at that, and so yeah, you can reach out to, yeah. If you don't have family, it doesn't have to be
I love
blood.
that. Those destiny helpers.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
God send us those destiny helpers. And so I do want you to tell them, Valerie, what's one thing, if you can tell them one thing you want them to take from this book, what's one thing you want them to take from this book? I know that's hard with all these good nuggets you got in here.
One that I would want my readers to take from the book, I would say going through my journey, navigating through my experience, and finding the strength to come out of a toxic relationship. The one thing that I would want to inspire my readers to first know the power of the self-worth. Know that you are worth, that you have self-worth, number one. And two, prioritize your emotional and your mental well-being. Your emotional and mental well-being should be at the top of your list. Put that first, and it really has to come in and everything. And I say that because if you're not good, you're no good for your children. You're not good for your family. You're not good to help anyone else. You have to make sure that your emotional and your mental well-being is good. You have to be good first, or you can't be a good mother. It's when you're broken and your mental state is not there, you can't mother, you can't parent, you can't help anyone else. So I would say I would want to inspire anyone to first know the power of your worth, and two, prioritize your emotional and your mental well-being. Put that first. And means you need to reach out and get some counseling, do that. They have resources where you could get sometimes free sessions, free counseling sessions. If you have a job, I don't know, some people's job has different insurances where you can get a couple of sessions or whatever. But reach out, go to your HR person, let them know if you're going through what resources I can utilize. That maybe you can get a couple of sessions, and then maybe if you have to go further, you might have to pay for those. But yeah, prioritize your mental and emotional well-being because peace is priceless. There's no amount of money that can pay for your peace of mind.
Whew.
And if
Yeah.
your mind, you lose your peace, it's really over with. So put your mental and emotional state for, and I did that with myself when I made the decision to escape and leave. I put Valerie first. I put my mental state first, and I had not been doing that over the course of years. But it took me, it took me to get there. But I thank God that. So that's what I would want.
That you got there.
Prioritize your mental and emotional well-being.
That is good. And for those that you don't know, you can find this book on Amazon. If you go to Amazon, you can go to Amazon right now, actually. Go to your Amazon app on your phone, type in Broken Pieces by Valerie Milner, and guess what? She has the ebook for those that love Kindle. She also got it in paperback. And you can also find this book on other platforms as well by just Googling Broken Pieces by Valerie Milner, and you'll see all the other platforms
Absolutely.
that her book is hosted on as well. Valerie, also tell them about the other services that you have that you're offering as well. You don't want to forget about your other services that you have for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to piggyback off about the book, I would really prefer it's available on Amazon, but you can purchase it from my website. So if you would just go to valeriemilner.com, it's on the banner. You can purchase it from my website. And if just to share, one last nugget with the audience or your followers is that if you find yourself, having some challenges after coming out of a bad relationship and you're having some challenges with moving forward in your healing journey, then I invite you to book a sales call with me. So just go to my link in my Instagram bio. My Instagram page is Valerie Milner _21 and click the link and book a sales call with me to see more about how I can help you with that. So you can purchase my book from there, um, book a sales call with me, and I would be more than happy to be of help and assistance to you. And also, I would like to tell you
Yes,
to,
and these are women that are right there.
okay, I'm sorry.
Oh
Can
no,
you
go
see?
ahead, Valerie. Go ahead.
I was going to
Yep,
tell
go ahead.
anyone you can find me. I have a YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Valerie Milner. You can go there and subscribe. So Valerie Milner's YouTube. Instagram is Valerie Milner _21. In my Facebook is Valerie Milner. And my website is valeriemilner.com.
That is good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Valerie. It was a pleasure not only working with you, but even doing this interview. You got a beautiful soul and you're full of wisdom. Every time we get on the phone, I love it. You always give me wisdom. I just love the nuggets that you drop. And let me tell you, that same nugget that she left with you all about prioritizing yourself. I remember recently me and Valerie was on a call and I had to share some intimate stuff with her. And she gave me that same wise counsel, like you gotta take care of yourself. And when I tell you, best advice.
Yeah,
Best advice. Sometimes we will pour into everybody around us and we left on zero. And
absolutely.
nobody else left to pour into us. And so I am definitely learning before I give all my all to A, B, all of y'all, I'm gonna make sure I'm full so y'all just getting the overflow. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna leave y'all not gonna leave me with nothing.
that's
So I thank you, Valerie.
thank you for having me.
I
I'm so
truly thank you.
glad.
You are welcome. I do want to take time for any questions and answers. I can see the ones on Facebook. I'm gonna look on Instagram on my phone and see if I see any. But if you all have any questions, anything you want to say, I do want to give you all a couple minutes to drop any questions in the chat. While you have Valerie to yourself right now, y'all use this opportunity wisely. But I do want to say, Val, so you did say that you work with women that are post divorce, right? You work with
Yes,
them that are out. They have already went through that stage, and now they're out of that situation. That's when you come in. Is that correct?
yes, yes. Post. So in other words, not in the midst of, because it's hard to work with somebody when they're in the midst of trauma, and then it can be dangerous too. So I would say I work with post divorce or post out of a relationship. They might not have been married, but they've gotten out of, and they're gone on with their lives, but they might be having some issues with moving forward and healing. So yes, that's why I could
Yeah,
come in to help assist them.
that is good. That is good.
Mhm.
And so I'm checking now to see. Let me go look on Instagram and just see because I can't see on the computer. I can only see the Facebook comments. Let's see. Go and check, Valerie. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anything on here. Let me make sure. All right, so I don't see anything. And so, anything you want to leave the viewers with before we get off?
I think that would be it. I think I gave all my social media. I invite you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram. And I think that's it. And feel free to purchase my book at valeriemilner.com.
Yes. Yes, and so also when you all purchase the book, don't forget to leave a review. Leave a review. Those reviews are big. Or take a picture on social media, tag Valerie in that book, and let her know how her story have impacted your life. Or maybe you're someone that's not going through anything, but you have a friend or a family member. We're going through the holidays right now. This would be a perfect gift for a
Yeah.
friend or a family member that may be going through something and they need to see that if Valerie can get, if God can do it for her, he can do it for me as well. So and you might not need it, but somebody else might need this under their Christmas tree this year. And so this is Broken Pieces again by Valerie. I just love that black. That black just made a statement to me, Valerie. I love it. I love it.
I,
I absolutely
I
love
love
it.
it.
And so that is it. Since we don't have any, yeah, and so that is it. We don't have any more questions. If you or somebody want to publish a book, or you in the middle of the writing process, and you like, I don't know where to start. I'm ready to publish, or maybe you just don't know. You want to write a book, you haven't even started. Me and my company would be more than happy to assist you. You can go to my website at www.kiatacollins.com, and we will be honored to help birth your next book or baby out. And so I call myself the midwife because I love I love having people push these books out. It's beautiful. It is
Hmm.
absolutely beautiful. And thank you again, Valerie, as well, just for even coming tonight, just for allowing us to publish your book as well. I don't take that lightly. Thank you.
What?
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye bye.